This is the first SmackDown after WrestleMania 42, and the blue brand unfortunately did not come to play. Champion sent a message that the entire TKO boardroom should have been watching, probably. Faction walked out of NXT and immediately stood tall over the baddest woman on the planet in on Raw. And a title that's been mismanaged for months just got a new lease on life. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Tea Drop Strong Brew No Soft Behavior. We are discussing the 3 moments, 3 takeaways of SmackDown this week. And we need to talk about what that means going forward. So let's get into it. We go into moment number 3. And guys, let me set the scene when it comes to this. This is the first SmackDown after WrestleMania 42. The champ walks out with an eye injury from his match with Randy Orton. He's medically cleared to compete for the night, and he does not come out there to celebrate. He come out there with a message. He says, listen to what he says, and everyone needs to pay attention to this because it's probably the next storyline going forward for him. He says, to those outside forces that keep interceding and interjecting into my WrestleMania plans, you are in 3. Send your best or count your money and mind your damn business. God damn, that was good. Where in the world does a WWE champion have to address outside forces in a post-Mania promo if this is just all a work? Here's where it gets interesting. 0 and 3. Let me build this for you. WrestleMania 40, The Rock drags Cody into a tag match before night 2. WrestleMania 41, John Cena gets roped in again with The Rock's fingerprints, and Cody loses the title. He gets it back at SummerSlam, but he loses it on the grandest stage, WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 42, Pat McAfee is reportedly working at TKO's direction in the Orton feud. 3 manias, 3 interferences, all orbiting in the same source of gravity. And Cody just put that on television with thousands of people watching, and they're going absolutely insane about it. Now, this could be a storyline plant seeding a program in the future, maybe with The Rock, or at least it's going to be a Cody versus TKO narrative that pays off at SummerSlam or later. Or this is Cody, the EVP or former EVP, who got let go and rebuild himself using the microphone to speak something real in the language of pro wrestling. Both of those things can live together as a potential idea. That's the beauty of this business. If TKO is the target, though, when it comes to this, they now been called out somewhat, not by name, though, but by the record. 0-3 is a challenge for them, not a recap. But the champ said, send your best. Send your best. Let me ask you something. Who do you think is going to be his next opponent? Drop your thoughts in the comment section and we'll see what everyone is thinking of, or at least what is most people thinking will be Cody Rhodes' next opponent, because it has to be someone TKO based, right? We'll see. Moment number 2, and all right, this is an interesting one because we move on to this great moment, and this is the one I want to be straight with you. This one delivered, I have to say. This one probably was a really good delivery throughout SmackDown. Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. NXT's most calculating faction finally lands on SmackDown, and they didn't just show up. They made a statement that night. So let me give you their resume first for those that are not knowledgeable of them, because some people need to be very well acquainted before you get invested with them. JC Jane is a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. She also became TNA's Knockout Champion simultaneously between the TNA and NXT working together, making her the first person, man or woman, to hold championships in both WWE and TNA at the same time. That's something very important we have to bear in mind with her coming into the main roster, because this is already a Hall of Fame kind of ballot someday if you play your cards right with her. So we'll see what happens with her. We have Fallon Henley, who is the former NXT North American champion. She's also was a former NXT Women's Speed champion, and she is a definite workhorse when it comes to this promotion. She showed it all throughout NXT, so definitely check her out in the past videos of NXT if you haven't seen her work. And then you have Lindsay Reed, who is the wild card of this group. She earned her spot in the group. She had the kind of introduction that tells you who we're dealing with in NXT at least. She attacked Nyx to earn her spot in this group. So what do you get in this debut when it comes to these three people? Number one, the first part of their involvement in SmackDown is they interrupted a tag match and laid out Charlotte, Flair, Paige, Brie Bella, and Alexa Bliss. All four women laid them out on the mat. Then round 2 came. They interrupted Rhea Ripley during her Woman Undisputed Championship walk as a champ. She went out there to do a promo. They interrupted her because she called out saying that she will be a working champion, and they were the first ones to come out. And JC gets her first singles match with Rhea right then and there. Now, Rhea was talking JC apart, but Lena Reed and Fallon Henley get involved with a DQ finish. By the way, even before all that, she had the biggest heat with the whole crowd booing the living daylights out of them, and she just had to deal with that. And some natural heat. I feel like she has to deal with that heat better, because the way she was dealing with it could have borderline destroyed her momentum, but that's my opinion. So the match ended with a DQ, and all three of them stood tall after attacking Rhea Ripley. The crowd, like I said, nuclear heat. We're talking about boos for days. Dirty Dom level. That's crazy. But like I said, she needs to deal with that better. It's going to get interesting for them because some people kept asking, are they a threat or are they a valet act? After one night, I think we have our answer. They just didn't debut as a backup group that they just added a new tag group for NXT. They chose their first few targets. They executed the attack, and they were, from both times, they left standing. That's them making a clear statement for the next year of what we're going to get from these people. Oh, held for review? What are we holding for review? Sure, I'll show this. Now, potential ceiling question. If WWE gives JC a singles run against Rhea over the women's undisputed title, JC Jane has the sky high for her, but she is one of the best talkers and storytellers in that locker room, at least for NXT. So she's been ready for this call-up for years, so hopefully she does get her moment, but we will see. The variable is whether SmackDown keeps them together as a faction for the long run, or they're eventually going to split them. Because the tag division just got a little interesting with them involved. Hopefully they're more involved. We will have to see. Maybe JC Jane will go for the women's main title and the other two will go for the tag belt and then create a dominant faction. That will be great if we go there. We will see, but probably one of the best things that happened that night. Now, the biggest moment for that night is this one. And I want to be fair here because there are two stories happening at once, and both of them deserve the attention. Number one, Tiffany Stratton is now your new Women's United States champion. She earned that. She beat Jordynne Grace the week before to get the number one contender spot. She walked into this arena and she put Julia down with the prettiest moonsault ever. Got a clean win. No asterisks towards her win. And Tiffy Time is back on championship gold and on the blue. Now, here's what this title reign has to be, though. And I'm speaking directly to whoever's booking this at this point, if you want my opinion, which I'm sure no one's going to take. Because the Women's United States Championship has been honestly criminally underutilized since day number one. Since this title was unveiled in November of 2024, it has been defended 13 times total across 16 months. It has never been defended on a premium live event, not once. Not Elimination Chamber, not WrestleMania, nothing. Compare that to the Women's Intercontinental title on Raw, which has been defended 20 times, with 9 of those being at PLEs, including WrestleMania. That's an embarrassing gap. And Julia, let me say this clearly about Julia, and I feel bad, because she deserved better than what happened to her. She is talented. She is legitimately special. Her NXT work was outstanding, but on the main roster, one title defense in 100 plus days, no WrestleMania moment, minimal TV time in this, and she was feeling like a vehicle to showcase Kiana James rather than a champion in her own right. Where in the world does this make sense for someone of her caliber level of wrestling? I don't know if it's a creative problem or a political problem or just circumstances at this point, but Julia was set up to fail with this booking or the title booking, period. And now she's standing without a belt, without a defined direction, with Kiana James still attached. Here's where I'm at with this. If they move Julia towards the women's tag division with Kiana James and build that pairing into a legitimate program, that could actually work. Two women who are frustrated by how the company sees them holding the tag team gold together. That could be a story. I'll give me that over nothing. Now, Tiffany, here's where it gets interesting with Tiffany. She missed WrestleMania 42 completely. She was completely off the card. Former women's undisputed champion left home for the most part in Las Vegas weekend. You would feel that. She felt that, definitely. And the way you respond to that as a performer tells you everything about who you are. She came back, she beat Jordan Grace, she beat Julia, and now she has a title that needs someone like her to give it an identity. Now the move, maybe they're going to do an open challenge format. I wouldn't be surprised. It's Tiffany Stratton holding open challenges and cutting promos about being an overlooked performer. That's how you rebuild a belt and her character at the same time. If WWE lets her cook, maybe this women's US title could finally mean something by Backlash or maybe by SummerSlam. So hopefully that's going to be the assignment for them. Let's see if they actually give it to her. So those are the three moments in my three thoughts when it comes to SmackDown. Cody calling out forces that don't want the Nightmare family to run the company at this point as the top champions. Fatal Influence just made the biggest first impression on SmackDown in years, and Tiffany has got a second chance to be exactly what the belt needs at this point. So drop your takes below. Who do you think Cody's real next opponent gonna be? Is JC Jane a future women's undisputed champion? Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. If the T hit right, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next Smack Talk.